Welcome to the English Listening Lounge, the podcast designed to help you speak English confidently and naturally. I'm your host, Mia, and with me is Alex. In today's episode, we're tackling a topic that can be a little scary for everyone: how to meet and talk to new people.
That's right, Mia. It's something everyone has to do, but it doesn't always come easy. We're going to give you the phrases, tips, and confidence you need.
So, Alex, let's be honest. Walking into a room full of strangers, it can be nerve-wracking, right? Even for native speakers.
Oh, absolutely. Your heart starts beating a little faster. You start wondering, what do I say? Will they think I'm weird? It's a universal feeling.
Exactly, a universal feeling. And for English learners, there's that extra layer of pressure. You're not just thinking about what to say, but how to say it in another language.
Right. You're worried about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. It's a lot to handle at once.
But the good news is it's a skill. And like any skill, you can learn it and get better with practice. So today, we're going to break it down and give you some practical phrases and tips for different situations.
Okay, so let's start with a common scenario. You're at a casual social event like a friend's birthday party. How do you start a conversation with someone you don't know?
Right. The first step is what we call breaking the ice. For our listeners, that phrase just means starting a conversation with someone for the first time. You don't need a perfect opening line. Something simple is best.
Something simple. Like what?
You could walk up to someone, smile, and say, "Hi, I'm Mia. I don't think we've met." It's simple, direct, and friendly.
That's a great one. Another easy way is to use your shared context. For example, if you're at a party, you both know the host. You can ask, "So, how do you know Sarah?"
That's perfect because it immediately gives you something to talk about. It's an open-ended question.
Right, an open-ended question. Can you explain what that is for our listeners?
Of course. An open-ended question is one that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. They usually start with words like who, what, where, when, why, or how. They invite the other person to share more information.
Exactly. So instead of asking, "Is this a good party?" which gets a yes or no,
Right.
you could ask, "What's your favorite thing about this party so far?" It keeps the conversation going.
Totally. And this leads to something called small talk. Small talk is just polite, casual conversation about general topics. It's how people get comfortable with each other. For example, talking about the music or the food at the party.
Things like, "This music is great, isn't it?" Or, "Have you tried the pizza? It's delicious."
Exactly. Simple observations can be great conversation starters. Okay, so parties are one thing, but what about a more formal situation, like a professional networking event or a conference?
The stakes can feel a little higher there.
They can. The goal is often different. You're there to make professional connections. The topics for small talk might be a bit different, focusing more on work and the industry.
Right. So instead of asking how they know the party host, you might ask, "So what do you do?" or "Which company are you with?"
Exactly. What do you do is a very common question in these settings. It means, what is your job?
Another great question is, "What brings you to this event today?" It's polite and shows you're interested in their professional goals.
I like that one. And listening is key here. When they tell you what they do, listen for things you have in common. You can follow up with, "Oh, that sounds fascinating. What's the most challenging part of your role?"
That's a fantastic open-ended question. And when it's time to move on, it's important to end the conversation politely.
Yes, absolutely. You can say something like, "Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Alex. I think I'll go grab a drink." Or you can ask for their contact information.
Right. A simple, "It was great talking with you. Do you have a business card?" works perfectly. All right, we've covered parties and professional events, but what about meeting people in everyday situations, like at a coffee shop or in a park?
That's a great question because these can be the most low-pressure situations. There's no expectation to talk, so if you do, it can be a pleasant surprise.
Totally. So how do you do it without seeming strange?
Again, use the context. Look for something you can comment on. For example, if someone has a friendly-looking dog in the park, you can say, "Your dog is so cute. What's his name?"
People love talking about their pets. That's a safe bet.
Or if you're in a library and see someone reading a book you recognize, you could say, "Oh, I love that author. What do you think of that book so far?"
Right. It's about finding a small shared interest in that moment. It's not about having a long, deep conversation. It's just a friendly human connection.
Exactly. Even a simple compliment can work. "I love your jacket." Just be genuine.
Genuine. That's the key word. People can tell if you're being sincere.
Okay, so we've gone through a few different scenarios. Before we wrap up, let's cover some general tips that can help English learners feel more confident in any conversation.
Let's do it.
My number one tip is don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yes, this is so important.
Native speakers make mistakes all the time. The goal is communication, not perfection. Most people will be very patient and happy that you're making the effort to speak their language.
Absolutely. Tip number 2 for me would be to smile. A smile is universal. It makes you seem friendly and approachable before you even say a word.
Body language is huge. Make eye contact, nod when you're listening. It shows you're engaged in the conversation.
Which brings up another point. Listening is half of the conversation. Don't just think about what you're going to say next. Really listen to what the other person is saying.
That's such a good point. And what if they don't understand something they said?
Just ask. It's perfectly okay to say, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?" Or, "What does that word mean?" People are usually happy to explain.
Totally. It shows you're truly interested. And finally, know how to exit gracefully. Having a few phrases ready to end a conversation can make you feel much more in control.
Phrases like, "Well, it was great chatting with you. I should get going, but it was nice to meet you." Or, "I'll let you get back to your friends. Have a great night."
Perfect. Simple, polite, and effective. So to recap everyone, start simple, ask open-ended questions, use your context, and listen as much as you talk.
And most importantly, be brave and give it a try. Every conversation is a chance to practice and improve. It gets easier every time. That's right. Well, that's all the time we have for today here at the English Listening Lounge. Thanks so much for tuning in. We hope these tips help you feel more confident meeting new people.
Join us next time when we'll be talking about common English idioms related to food.
Until then, happy learning.